Hello guys and girls, Crank here, and sorry that I have been busy lately. First of all, I'd like to give a shout out of one of my friends here. His name is, hold on a second. His name is Shinigami Rikka Takanashi, so shout out to him. And without further ado, let's continue from the what we just left off for a couple days ago. Let's do this. The girl sitting across me said that cheerfully as she crossed her long legs underneath her miniskirt. Basically, let's see what she said.
楽な仕事であることは保証するよ。
Yep, that was her. Her name was Lavinia F. Asai. She was Warrant Officer like myself, and we seemed to be the same age. Perhaps that was why she was acting quite friendly with me despite us having just met.
軍機にはうるさくないし、勤務時間外は多少羽目を外しても咎められることもない。
She had an army brat feel to her, and her personality was refreshing.
士官の数も少ないから、順位って言えばちょっとした身分だよ。って聞いてる？春菜順位？
No.
聞いてるよ、浅井順位。
さっきも言ったでしょ。ラビーでいいってば。あんまり名字好きじゃないんだよね、私。だからラビ順位って呼んで。
名前に階級をつけるのはおかしくないか？
なんなら呼び捨てにしてくれても全然構わないよ。私が上官になるまでは。
She gave me a teasing smile.
でもさ、春菜順位。ほんと、さっきから上の空じゃない？
Nope.
もしかして、今回の任務が気に入らないの？
Nope. And by the way, I have located the web camera on this angle now because it basically fits here better for the time being. But if there's going to be another characters in this episode, I'm going to again switch here or wherever I can fit it. So yeah, fit it as in, you know, like on the screen. This female soldier and I were the only ones present in this transport helicopter, which could carry 11 troops. Her shrill voice was harsh on my ears, perhaps due to how empty it was.
ま、特殊部隊出身の順位には施設警備なんて物足りない仕事だろうけど。
Hold on. There you go. Alright.
別に物足りないってことはないさ。
According to others, I usually looked quite stoic and always seemed displeased. Well, it wasn't a big deal for a soldier to be unsociable. There we go.
仕事なんだから襟好みなんかしない。命令ならどこへでも行くし、何
Get
で
up,
もやるの
that
が当
guys.
然だ。
Sorry about that, guys. My mom decided to call, and yes, I have a new ringtone. I wish I could have Karin's or Aoi's ringtone from Tokyo School Life, but what you can do. Anyway, let's listen that line again because it was drowned onto that ringtone earlier. Let's see here.
結構謙虚なのね。 エリート部隊の隊員なんてみんな傲慢なタイプかと思ってた。
仕事なんだから襟好みなんかしない。命令ならどこへでも行くし、何でもやるのが当然だ。
Okay, so that was that line, and she basically answered this.
結構謙虚なのね。エリート部隊の隊員なんてみんな傲慢なタイプかと思ってた。
Here I thought everyone in the elite unit was an arrogant bastard. Yeah, yeah, we heard you.
特殊部隊って言っても別にエリートってわけじゃない。ちょっと他の部隊とは仕事の種類が違っただけだ。それにもう部隊はなくなったんだ。俺だって君と何も変わらない。
そんなもんかな。
あ
Ah. It's been over 3 months since the unified government had declared the war to be over. My unit was dissolved amidst the rapid disassembly and reorganization of land forces. Many of my former comrades transferred to new units and had gone into space. Several had been discharged and returned to their normal lives, and some transferred to the police force. It was exceedingly rare to see someone to be transferred to another terrestrial unit like me.
見えてきた。ほら、あれよ。
Stop staring her, just Ryou. She spoke remarkably loudly and looked towards the window behind me. I turned to look, lured by her voice. As soon as I turned around, a tiny island floating alone in the light blue ocean entered my view. There was rather a solemn-looking building standing on the island, concealed by a sheer rock face, like some sort of mistake in design.
あれが
そう、春名獣医の新たな認知。第703研究所よ。
Okay. Aiden. There were only 2 on the planet. Oh man. As we nonchalantly passed throughout the splendid doors to the building, I halted and set down my bag beside me.
確か研究所の警備部隊に配属されると聞いてきたんだけどな。
Ouch.
そう、だからここが春名獣医の新たな勤務地。第703研究所よ。
She repeated those words I had heard only a moment ago. Looking nice. Nice place. Even though the character might be a little cocky. I took a better look around the entry hall.
なかなかいい趣味だな。
研究所ってイメージじゃないことは確かね。
Normally when I think research facility, I think drab concrete exterior with nothing but off-white linoleum corridors inside, as far as the eye can see. But that would have been presumptuous, as this place certainly didn't look anything like what I imagined a research facility would be.
ま、そのあたりについてはそのうちわかるよ。まずは我らが隊長のところへ案内す。ラビーちゃん。
Huh?
エリコさん？
Okay, so there's a maid now. And my face is blocking this guy's face, but I don't care. Yeah.
どうしたの？すっとんきょうな声出して。
Yeah.
それがサロンでカリウスさんと松永くんが取っ組み合いよ。
Scuffle in the salon. Oh god.
へえ。へえって。
へえ。
いいんじゃない？カリウス軍曹も松永伍長も若いんだし、青春の血潮がたぎることだってあるよ。でも仲裁しようとして何人も怪我してるんです。
Ouch. That sounds dangerous.
ちょうどいい訓練になるよ。喧嘩の一つも止められない連中は体がなまってるんでしょ。でもまだ何かあんの？ラビーちゃんの所有権をかけての決闘らしいんですけど。
Wait, what? Duel over a Lovey's ownership? What?
所有権？
that crack in her voice. Listen.
所有権？
So you can?
しかも勝った方がラビーちゃん専用押し倒し権をゲットできるとかなんとか。
What?
どこで誰が発行してんのよその権は。
Uh-oh.
で、行きますか？放っておきますか？ってもういないですね。早い早い。
Warrant Officer Lavie disappeared like the wind before this Elika girl called finished talking. You know what? Even though her name is Elika, I think I'm gonna call her Erika. Yeah. Because if you look at this word, Elika, doesn't that sound like a I hope I don't offend anyone with this, but doesn't that sound exactly like Americans would say Erika or something? I don't know. Yeah. So I'm gonna call her Erika instead.
困ったもんですね。でもラビーちゃんは美人だからしょうがないですよね。ね、あなたもそう思いません？
ラビー順位の見てくれがそこそこいいのは否定しないが。
あれ？
あれ？ She tilted her head slightly.
ところでどちら様ですか？
今日ここに赴任してきたものなんだが。
聞いてます。目つきの悪い、いかにも悪賢そうな少年が来るって。
俺の目つきのことはともかく、案内役がいなくなってどうするんだ。
Yeah.
どうするんでしょうね。
God, Erika is such an airhead on this game. Jeez.
というか、こちらからも質問があるんだが。
What should you do indeed? Wow. Okay.
はい、なんでしょう。
君はなんだ？
メイドです。
I would be a maid. Lol. I don't think he meant to ask what are you. I think he asked who are you, as in your name.
ここには貴族でも住んでるのか？
まさか人類が宇宙に移民するこの時代に貴族なんて、そんなのいたら剥製にされて博物館に飾られちゃいますよ。
The girl who called herself maid chuckled cheerfully.
物珍しさで言えばメイドも負けてないだろう。
If speaking in terms of rarity, wouldn't a maid follow suit as well?
つまり私も剥製に？
Wait, what? What? You mean to have me mounted and stuffed? What? Jesus Christ, this Erika. What are going on in your head?
剥製から離れろ。
Yeah. I couldn't help but feel this would be made. was off in the head somehow.
仮にもここは政府の施設だろう。しかも軍が駐留してる重要施設にメイドなんているはずがない。
そんないきなりやってきて私の存在を否定されても。
So by the way, this is the actual gameplay. This is happening on the present. I mean, not present. In the past, when the beginning of this game, the first episode was happening in the future. So yeah, all these that are coming on this episode wise are all in this guy's past. So yeah.
少し頭が痛くなってきた。
Even if she looked at me with those troubled eyes, I was just as baffled as she was.
私のお仕事についてご説明した方がいいでしょうか。
Well, isn't the maid job obvious what you do?
いや、いい。聞くと余計に頭痛がひどくなりそうだ。それより、ここの責任者のところへ行きたいんだが、場所を教えてもらえるかな。
稲葉少佐さんですね。
Major Inaba, okay.
なんでしたら私がご案内しましょうか。ラビーちゃんはカリウスさんと松永くんを半殺しにするまで戻ってこないでしょうし。
Beating us to death. Well, like that.
半殺しね。物騒なところだな。
Yep.
ラビーちゃんが物騒なだけです。何も警戒することなんてありません。ここは平和な場所ですから。
Really now. A carefree smile rose to her face. The moment I witnessed her smile dripping with kindness.
すごいね、亮は。
Flashback. Momentarily. What in the world was that sensation just now? For an instant, it felt like a current had just run throughout me. I don't know. I was seeing stars. No, there was something else. I had surely caught a glimpse of something else in that instant. What in the world was it?
いや、なんでもない。気にしないでくれ。
I said that as I wiped the sweat from my forehead.
気分が悪いようでしたらお薬でもお出ししましょうか。
本当になんでもないんだ。それより案内を頼む。
はあ、わかりました。それでは参りましょう。1名様ご案内。
Go on, right this way. I slowly followed behind the maid as she started walking. Earlier, it seemed like I had just remembered something important. There was no doubt about it was illusion. But why did I suddenly hallucinate? I shook my head. A building unsuited to be called research facility and a girl who called herself maid. I was probably just a little confused after encountering such a strange situation. After opening the door and stepping in, a lone man appeared before me. That man was seated sloppily in his chair and was gazing at me with an uninterested expression.
なんでエリカと一緒なんだ、春菜純尉。
The man, Major Inaba, went straight to the point.
ですね、ラビーちゃんに突然休養ができちゃったんですよ。
そりゃ休養は突然できるわな。
ああ、なるほど。鋭いご意見ですね。
いやはや、それほどでも。
What was with this conversation?
それでエリカが連れてきてくれたわけか。ご苦労だったな。
いえいえ、これくらいはお安いご用で。私は自分の損にならないことなら何でもやりますよ。というか、仕事をサボるいい口実になりましたし。
I wasn't sure what to think of her after hearing that.
それでは、面倒ですけど、そろそろお仕事に戻ります。
ああ、彼女によろしく。
Her? I don't know, what do you mean by her? Erika smiled sweetly, bowed to the major and left the room. When I saw her bow instead of salute, it became clear she wasn't military personnel. Maybe she really was a maid.
どうだエリカは。ちょっと目がくらむような美人だろう。
Ow, ow, ow. Okay. His mouth loosened into a grin.
そうですかね。あまり興味なさそうだな。あまりではなく、少しもありません。
Yep. As you can see, Ryou in the past was kind of a cold-hearted bastard.
まあ、軍隊では珍しいことじゃないし、今時は神様だって同性を愛するなとは言わないよな。そういう意味ではありません。
In reality, I had some interest in Erika, but I wasn't captivated by her endowed figure. Something felt out of place about her. Not that I had the slightest idea where that feeling came from.
春名准尉の趣味についてはおいおい追求するとして。
Superior officers who peered into their subordinates' personal lives were the worst.
さてと。
Major Inaba corrected his posture and slightly and cleared his throat.
よく来たな、と言うべきかな。いきなりこちらに不手際があったようだが。お言葉ですけど、少佐は部下のしつけがなってないんじゃないですか。俺は部下の自主性を尊重する上官なんでね。上官ならけじめをつけないとまずいでしょう。
He shrugged his shoulders and showed a faint smile. The way his actions and expressions gave off a sarcastic feel had not changed at all from the past.
確か7年前は注意でしたよね。まさかまだ少佐だとは思いませんでした。士官学校でとはいえ、俺はまだ味噌汁にもなってないんだぞ。少佐なら上等だろう。いえ、あなたは。なんだ。
I thought you were more capable. Not only was there no point, that was not something I should say to someone who was. For the time being, my superior, I swallowed my words.
少佐は昔と比べてあまり変わっていませんね。苦労してないからな。老け込む要素がないんだ。
He let out a rattling laugh. His face looked a little red, but it was unlikely he will drink in the afternoon.
とりあえず配属書は受け取ったんで、今日はもう休んでいいぞ。飛行機とヘリを乗り継いでの長旅は疲れただろう。ですが、まだ任務の詳細も聞いていません。当研究所の警備。以上。了解しました。それじゃ、こいつを持っていけ。
He rummaged through his desk drawer and took out a thin manila envelope and a single card.
この封筒には細々とした書類と館内の見取り図のデータディスクが入ってる。それとこっちはお前の ID だ。はい。あと独り身の夜を慰める秘蔵データもあるが、ついでに持っていくか。結構です。つまらんな。
I took the envelope and ID and returned the guest ID I had received from Lavi earlier.
あとは明朝0730に迎えが来るから、その時に細かい仕事内容を聞いてくれ。
なんだか大雑把ですね。
Sketchy.
館内に入ってから荷物検査すら受けていませんよ。
It seemed far too insecure in a way you looked at it.
別にいつも誰にでもこういう対処をしてるわけじゃないさ。
なら今回はなぜ俺をフリーで通したんですか？
決まってる。春名亮、お前は特別だからだよ。
Was it so obvious? I understood from his tone that he didn't intend to say any more.
こちらからも一つ質問があるんだ。いいか？
もちろん構いません。
There was no way I could refuse to speak to a superior.
亮、
Yeah. His demeanor flipped like a switch, and his eyes stared straight at me.
まだ7年前のことを覚えているか
7 years ago. The frustration of only being able to cry out. The sensation of large, heavy fist sinking into my face with a thick thud. Back trailing off into the distance, and tiny footsteps brushing throughout the grass.
忘れてはいません。すべてを忘れるには7年は短すぎます。
I returned his stare. No matter how sharp his glare, my heart would not sway.
だったらなぜ銃を抜かない？お前にとっては殺しても飽き足らない相手だろう、俺は。そうやって俺の前に立つためにお前は今日まで生きてきたんじゃないのか？
へえ、殺されると分かっていて俺を呼んだのですか？
お前は大したものだよ。もう殴るどころか体に触れることもできないだろうな。
俺も所詮は飼い犬ですよ。あんたと同じようにね。
Any soldier would shoot if given the order. But on the other hand, we couldn't shoot without an order. That's how trained soldier behaved. The major should have been aware of that.
今の質問は忘れてくれ。任務に関係ないことをつい口走るのが俺の悪い癖でね。
本当に悪い癖ですね。
全くだ。
Before I knew it, his eyes had become as sluggish as before.
それでは失礼します。
ああ。
I saluted, and as I went to turn, I halted. And that's how he looks like.
少佐、
ん？どうした？
ここでは一体何の研究を？
ああ、肝心なことを言い忘れてたか。すまんすまん。
He clapped his hands together and grinned. His sloppiness might have been the reason he was stuck at his current rank.
俺も詳しいところまでは知らない。聞いても理解できんだろうしな。まあ、簡単に言うと、かつては移民船開発の中枢だったが、今はすでに就航した船のデータ解析をやってるそうだ。
Who?
移民船開発。
Wait just a second. A key figure in development of colony ships. He couldn't mean.
さすがに察しがいいじゃないか、レオ。
He grinned fearlessly.
ここには彼女がいる。
Okay, not creepy at all. The door was closed quietly and Inaba leaned back in his chair. As he brushed the stubble beneath his chin, he thought to himself, he's grown quite a bit. That was only natural. After all, Inaba had at last had last met Ryou Haruna roughly 7 years ago. You could safely say Ryou was still young at the time. In fact, one could say he was young even now. However, those eyes of his, they were no longer the eyes of a young man, but of a soldier who had survived numerous battles. Inaba lazily tapped the laptop on his desk. He was reading through the data of Ryou Haruna that had been forwarded to him from the headquarters. Warrant Officer Ryou Haruna, birthplace Japan. He enlisted in the United Army 7 years ago and fought against the Southern Union, which had declined an alliance with the unified government. Though exceedingly underage, when he enlisted, he became an expert marksman and was later designated as a sniper. For 3 years he fought in various skirmishes and received multiple commendations for his performance. He was given rank of corporal around the time the war with the Southern Union ended and left his unit to return to his home country. Now let's see what this says here. Blood type A. Weight, height 170 centimeters. Vision 2-2. Aptitude and physical test A. Unified Army Infantry Division 82 Regiment 404 Battalion Number 3 Troop G Attachment Sniper Squadron. Alright. With a decline in the Army 10th Special Forces Unit, which specializes in anti-terrorism, he enlisted in the newly established Unit 13, which went by the alias GAT. As a member of the entry team, he was able to achieve many accolades, primarily for his role in eliminating anti-government guerrilla forces.
ゲリラの中でも最大の戦力を有していた反移民組織暁の明星の壊滅もガットの仕事だったか。
He was also instrumental in the elimination of several bomber Kidzu, rescued the abducted father of the Vice President of the Ministry of Domestic Affairs, and secured Diet member Hausen Theor, ringleader of the Section 7 incident.
ここ数年の激戦地すべてに志願参加し、功績を認められて試験免除で特殊部隊入り。凄まじいな。
He had checked his data many times before, but it was career that gave him chills every time he read it. Ryou Haruna had probably handled many assignments not to keep the official records since joining the Special Forces. He appeared to be a normal young man, yet there was no doubt that Ryou was a capable soldier. Even with how unorganized the military was at present, advancing from the private to warrant officer in such scant few years was unprecedented. I don't know. But
一体その目で何を見てきたんだ、春名亮。
Inaba sighed. The one who dragged Ryou into the military 7 years ago was none other than Inaba. Of course, Ryou had decided to enlist on his own. Inaba just so happened to help push his paperwork through. Ryou did not meet the age requirement, so Inaba fabricated his documents and arranged for him to be assigned under a commander he knew to be capable. That was all. But the decision was stained in once pure young man's hands in blood. That solitary fact was enough to ensure Inaba a place in hell.
まあ罪の一つや二つが増えても今更だがね。
Inaba smiled bitterly and reached for a whiskey barrel in his desk.
出てきましたね。
Yep, and that is where I stop. For episode 2 anyways. Thanks for joining in. Another episode of Eden. And I will see you with more games to come. But until then, I'll see you later. Have a great one. Bye bye!